Yeah, that was a while back. When did you start playing guitar, man? Did you start playing at a young, well, obviously you were young playing then, but since you were a little kid or you got into it, like how
When
fast?
I was 8.
You
Hey,
were playing since you were 8. Okay. All right. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
what got
it's
you into it, Mike?
my grandfather. Um, my grandfather was a picker.
Hmm.
He played honky tonk music. And he taught me these chords. And I was kind of a gimmick. This little boy that could play guitar. He put this
Hmm.
red fucking cowboy hat on my head and had this big ass acoustic guitar. And that F chord was so hard to play. And I remember the first gig I was playing with him. He'd tell me, he'd say, "Look, we're gonna have a fight tonight." He said, "But don't stop playing, right?" So I was playing, all of a sudden these big fucking men starts fighting and shit. So I freeze. My grandpa
Yeah.
fucking slaps me behind the head. He's like, "Play, motherfucker, play." So
Wow.
there's my life. It starts there.
Man,
Wow.
that's a song right there, man.
That's crazy. So it was acoustic that he had you on at first, and then when did you start
Yes.
discovering your exploration with electric guitar?
I guess I was maybe 12, 13. My uncle, his name was Yancey. Um, he gave me this tape, "We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll," by Black Sabbath. And I don't know, it just kind of changed my life.
Mm.
So I just learned
Mhm.
every fucking song on there. I just learned it. And a month later, he came back. He's like, "You learned all these fucking songs?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." And he was like, "God damn." So I kind of started, going into that realm. And then I became a little punk, like all teenagers do.
Mm.
Yep.
Went through the whole scene of, being a rebellious bitch, then an addict, and then everything else. And, come
Mm.
full circle to being just a regular man again.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Well,
When you
glad you made it out the other side. I know a lot of
absolutely.
folks don't make that loop back around to the normal man part. And good
That's
on you
right.
for making that circle.
Thank you. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you guys are back together and playing gigs again, and I
Yeah.
hope it sustains for as long as you guys are up for doing it. And I think the fan base is there to do it for. With the electric guitar though, I'm kind of just I mean, what did you get? What was like your first electric guitar? Was it like,
It was a Gibson Les Paul Jr.
oh, okay,
Nice.
all right.
Yeah.
Nice. Was it P90 or a humbucker?
And it's a humbucker. Yeah. It
Nice.
was it was a really nice guitar. It was thin. And I had a younger brother. He's very jealous of me. He stabbed the shit out of it with a knife.
Oh,
So he
Wow.
fucked it all up. But it still played great. Um, it's just that's just it's just fucked up stories. But I mean it still played great. Just had all these fucking scars all over it.
That's awesome. Do you
that's
still
kind of
have it?
cooler.
Do you still have it?
No, no, I
Oh,
sold it a long time ago.
that thing has got stories wherever it's at. If it could talk, I love it. You guys, so when I saw you guys live, one of the songs on your set was actually "Dead Girl" in the Agents of Oblivion version, right? Because it when you and Dax did Agents after Esabath, you did "Dead Girl" like a full on band piece, not acoustic, and that's one of the highlights for me seeing it. What's it feel like playing? How did that one come into be in y'all's set?
Well, when Dax and I wrote the song, sort of like a country song. And if you really listen to it, it's sort of country.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, Dax has a beautiful voice and a wonderful way of portraying his melodies. Um, but we always heard it as a rock song, also. So whenever we had gotten to the Agents of Oblivion, we just figured to try to make it into a rock song, even though for us, I think it was more of a country song than anything. on the acid bath version.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very different song. It's a different kind of song.
Yeah, it really changes the vibe from one version to the other, but I like both of them for what they are.
Like zombies eating dust in Mexico. Life dries cold beneath the dead soul lights. Yeah. Zombies eating dust in Mexico. Yeah. Where the dead sleep in dreams of
And my son actually told me, maybe you can give me some insight. My son told me one day that the song Ladybug on the Agents album, he told me one day, he said, Dad, that's like the perfect rock song. And I knew exactly what he meant. He said everything about it. Like when I think about, he's 14 telling me this at the time. He said, when I close my eyes and think of what a rock song should sound like, he said, I feel like Ladybug from Agents of Oblivion is like, it checks all the boxes.
ladybug kisses the bones pushing through. Yeah. Sway with this wicked city, twisting and turning with you. Yeah.
Was that one written with anything in mind, or was that kind of like, how did that one come about? I gotta ask so I can tell him.
That's Dax's song. Dax just came in one day and played this riff. It was sort of like, it was a little different, but it was basically the same thing. He's just changed it up more into a 4/4 timing. But that's something you would have to ask Dax, because that's pretty much all him. I have to give him all the credit for that song, because that's only just my solos and just overlaying what his foundation was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of like, that's the style that Dax and I had whenever we did the Agents. Was more of that, more of layering over on top of melodies.
Mm-hmm.
More than just ripping something out.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's when you can get more musical, is whenever you can riff something. I mean, chord something out. Then once you do that, you can make those chords into a riff and make it heavy. Make it into whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty much your freedom. It's the only freedom we have is to create.
That's
Yeah, I'm
true.
a big fan of the creating stuff. I mean, I feel like, yeah, that's kind of like, to me, that I feel like my personal goal in life is to make stuff, all kinds of creative acts. And it's like, that's where I feel the fulfillment zone. I do video production also, and it kind of stole me away from music for a few years. I ended up getting so into it. Now I get to do it all. But there's just so many ways to get to explore creating. And it's interesting that I think people there are some things that aren't necessarily categorized as straight up art or artistic, but they're still super creative, and people don't necessarily identify that that's why they're so attracted to doing that thing over and over again and cultivating it. And I think the act of creating in itself is definitely a part of feeling fulfilled as a human. Honestly, if you don't really figure out what that is for you, I think it's hard to. It's a big empty pocket. It's an empty pocket.
Oh yeah, I would agree 100%. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.